thing. We actually just had a writing session with my band a week ago, and we were revising the pacing of my lyric for the chorus.
See?
So you're right. I have done this.
Yeah.
And we talk about descriptors, and my bandmates were saying things like, yeah, I think you need to lengthen words, or I think you need to think about like not making it as choppy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're doing here,
Yep.
right? So I
Okay.
think like we're just giving a term for it and something to kind of work with and teach. But we often do this kind of instinctively when we're writing because we
Yeah.
realize it needs to be different in the different sections.
Mhm.
But if you are doing this with something that you've already had for a little while, it can feel kind of uncomfortable. And we just want to acknowledge that because your body and your brain are used to saying, you know, this particular lyric in this particular way with this particular rhythm and phrasing. And so it can take a little bit to really retrain your body and your voice. And if you're playing an instrument, that whole thing has to go together. And so just give yourself some space and time and don't assume that because it's uncomfortable at first that it isn't actually serving the song.
Mhm. Yeah, and I'm also thinking of times where you had me rewrite melodic content,
Yeah,
and what really helped me was recording it and stepping away and listening back.
that's so great.
That could be a great activity to do too. So not only revising in the ways we talked about last lesson, but maybe you go find a song, revise it, record yourself performing it in two different ways, and listen back and see which version you like better.
Yeah, and you can also do this with yourself or with your students, like take a song that already exists and like mess up the rhythm of it, like or find different examples of different songs. Like in jazz, this is a really common thing where like what's on the page, for example, fly me to the moon. That's what's on the page. It's four quarter notes. But like Ella might sing it, fly me to the moon. And like Sarah Vaughan might go, fly me to the moon. And Frank Sinatra would go, fly me to the moon. He would like backphrase the entire thing to the end of the phrase, And so I think this is very common in all music that has this kind of improvisational nature. We're just asking you to think about it in a compositional nature and kind of taking these ideas and really like moving with them. So what we want you to do is go and try that with a couple other songs. It could be yours, it could be somebody else's, and you're just kind of messing around and seeing what you can do with that.